Hi there. Thank you for joining me on this really fun session on consonants. Consonants are one of the tools that we use as human beings when we speak, when we sing. It's crucial to our sound, and consonants sort of get a bad reputation over the years. And I'm going to tell you why in this session. And the goal for this session really is to wake up our alliteration, because consonants are the rhythm drivers of our music, of our language. So that's one of the reasons why they make our singing sound so great, and they can really boost our singing in subtle ways. I find that a lot of students kind of use their voice when they're putting their voice out on a sound, and then they're not really dialing into the subtleties of the rhythm. And by highlighting the consonants, that's what that can do. That can really sharpen up your singing. Not only do they give you more rhythm and more expressive qualities, they also feed back to the very source of your voice, giving you strength. They give you something to hold on to, like traction. So I love consonants, and we're gonna dive straight in, and let's just start with a little bit of let's just do a little bit of a movement. Let's give our shoulder rotator cuffs a little bit of love right now. And why would we do this? The reason why we want to start with something like this is so that we're not just diving straight in. We're kind of coming into our body. We're getting awareness, because even something like our shoulder blades in proximity to our voice, it's important to this is helping you with your posture, to help open up your posture. It's helping you to become more grounded starting this session, and it's giving you a little stretch. This all feeds back into your voice. So we'll do a couple more here, and I want you to do one really big and slow all the way back, and hold that there, noticing what that is doing for your lungs. Take a couple breaths here, holding this position open. Now let's bring it all the way down, noticing how far you can rotate your shoulders down. Take a few breaths here. Notice that difference. Do you feel that compression on your rib cage, on your diaphragm? Notice it'd be actually quite hard to sing like this, yet a lot of us are when we're slumping over at our computer. We're kind of hunched in this position a lot through the day, so it's important to remember to bring everything out, and now just relax back. Now, let's start by looking at a few alliterations. So we're going to wake up our alliteration. That's what consonants can really do, and just to have awareness of consonants. So we're going to start with hard consonants. So we're going to say the sound of P, T, K, P, T, K. And I want you to just start saying that over and over. P, T, K, P, T, K, P, T, K, P, T, K, P, T, K. Getting faster. P, T, K, 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 P, T, K. Let's try B, D, G. B, D, G, 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 B, D, G. How short can you make it? B, D, G, 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 B, D, G. Now let's put these two together. So we're going to say B, D, G, 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 B, D, G. Take a nice big breath. Let's do that again. Now we want to hold this all the way out on the out breath. So let's see how far we can get. Noticing where you're holding your breath, you keep going. So you want just that gentle exhale past those consonants. Those are the hard consonants, so they're actually going to be stopping your airflow, but you're trying to get the smoothness of the sound while still having that nice sharp and crisp at the mouth. And now let's say how fast you can go. Great. Now let's try another one. This is really good. Tongue twisters are fantastic for this too. So this obviously will help your singing because it's just getting your mouth around the words fast, and it's helping you pick up on alliteration, just getting sharp and crisp. This is actually pretty important when it comes to singing. It helps you to not be sloppy. Let's say glugga-da, 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 glugga-da. Noticing that triplet feel, really getting that sharp. Glugga-da, 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 glug. Now can we try that one really fast now that you've had some practice? Glugga-da, 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 glugga-da. Right, okay, now let's try and let's bring it up into the mask now. So we're going to say the sound sing and holding on to that NG. Sing, just the NG now. Sirening down, let's go a little higher. Make sure in your own range, not following mine. Can you keep that sound nice and bright forward in the mask, resonating in the mask, yet going really high? Keeping it smooth. Pressing gently into that NG. Does that help you, or does that cause you a little bit of strain? Sometimes that could cause someone some strain. Sometimes that can be a really helpful exercise for someone to help release their voice. So one more time. Now, consonants are closed vocal tract. You can think of that like that. And whereas vowels are the open vocal tract. Now, perhaps this is why consonants maybe get a bad rep, because they sort of stop the signal flow. So singing is all about flow, right? We want this flow phonation. And if we're looking at, if we were singing classical style, we're singing very high in our range typically, then that really poses a problem. And I think this is where consonants get a bad rep. But consonants aren't the only signal flow. We're constantly stopping that flow when we take a breath. That's a big signal stopper, right? And when we are changing pitch or changing vowels, these all sort of change that flow that is our voice happening. And our voice needs to navigate this. And that's why certain consonants get a bad rep, because they stop the signal flow, in the words of Dr. Ingo Tietze, who is a voice scientist. Now, so there are things you can do. You can, of course, soften the consonant. So if you have a very hard consonant, like G, you can G. Now, I want you to feel that. I like consonants. I like using them for this strength building effect that they give. And I want you to feel how they feed back to the system right now. We're going to say G, 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 G. Now, I want you to say it silently. Notice there's barely any air in there. Can you feel the muscles around your larynx? That sound really does pull the vocal folds closed. And we can use this to our advantage. So we can really use the sound of G, even though it might be hard way up high to sing a G, we can really use the G to dial in the voice. Now let's say it a little bit louder. G, 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 G. In your own range, please. G, 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 G. Press down on it. Okay, so and now where else do you feel that in your body? I want you to press, give it a little press as you're speaking. G, 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 G. You're feeling that at the diaphragm, and that's because your vocal folds are closing, and that air that is in there, it hits the vocal folds and it pops back down, and it gives that diaphragmatic support. As a result, what I love about this is that we're discussing this from the vocal cord closure. We're getting that. So this really does show how this is one big system. Everything is feeding back and working together. It's a machine of many parts. So we can really use consonants to our advantage when we dial them in. Now let's look at that in terms of our chest voice. Now we're going to start down here for guys. We're going to say gug, 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 gug. Feeling that natural vocal fold closure. Gug, 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 gug. Gug, 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 gug. Gug, 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 gug. Girls coming in now at the bottom. Gug, 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 gug. See, I can get some press. Gug, 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 gug. Gug, 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 gug. Gug, 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 gug. Gug, 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 gug. Gug, 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 gug. Let's go one more. Gug, 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 gug. Right, so, and you can really feel how that's quite a muscly sound, which has its advantages and its disadvantages. So if you were singing something up high with that sort of strong G sound, it might get in your way. And it depends on what kind of singer you are. If you are the type of singer where you've got a lot of squeeze and press in your voice, that might be too much, and you want to use a softer consonant to help open your voice. And how you can be your own vocal coach, for example, you can replace the words of your song with some consonants to help either relax your voice or give it some strength. So let's say if you're someone who needs a lot of strength building in your voice, you need more press in your voice, then you might want to change the words of your song to gug or gee. And if you're a type of someone where you felt that was quite squeeze and press, then you might want to use the sound of one. I love the consonant W because it has that natural resonant sweet spot. So let's look at that now. So I want you to say, so starting here, let's start here with the girl's chest voice now. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and do join in wherever you are. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, let it fall down. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now notice we're pulling in the mouth here. The mouth, we don't have time to splat the vowel and to be too wide, which is what the vowels can do. Sometimes it makes the voice can feel a bit out of control. Here where we're bringing it in, it's reining the voice in. It's got that natural shape of 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, which is quite relaxing. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. Good. Okay, now neutral consonants. The consonants of M and N, they really help. They're quite balanced and relaxed. They're not too hard and they're not too soft. So we can use them to just help drive just a natural steadiness of the voice to give you some balance. So for example, if you have a tricky part of your song, you can use that, like the word mum, replace the words with mum, and it just brings your voice in, dials it in. It helps it be a little bit more balanced between chest voice and released into the upper resonator. That helps you resonate in the mask. Let's feel this now. We'll say mum, 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 mum. Mum, 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 difference between M and in. So first of all, I want you to go, what difference do you feel there? I feel some like pharyngeal adjustments happening. In is, can you feel how it's a little bit brighter? It's got a little bit more of that nasality to it. So now let's bring it into this. We'll do the same thing. We'll say na 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 So could you feel how that was a bit brighter? Now, sometimes it's really good to have awareness of what kind of singer you are and where you're trying to go to. Okay, so sometimes when we've studied musical theater, you've done a lot of that mask work, and you might feel that your voice is a bit overly reliant on that. You want more fullness to your tone. So that's when you might want to think about bringing in one of the harder consonants. I love the sound of B because it just dials in the tone. It drops the larynx that little bit, which gives your voice a little bit more depth, a little bit more roundness. This will give you a stronger belt. And I love that feedback that you can get when you say, just say this now, B, B. Press into your lips as you say, B. So you feel the soft palate raise, you feel the larynx drop, and what does that mean? Extra space to resonate with. And we're resonating here, it's helping you with that lower resonator, giving you a bit of press from the bottom. So if you want that Whitney Houston style belt. Okay, so let's try this. We're gonna do that same scale. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Let that onset of the B help guide your voice into that dialed in tone. Let's do that one again. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Do you feel that strength? And do you feel that blasting back to give yourself that diaphragmatic support that you hear so much about? What I love about this is that we're getting this from here. It's that loop, that feedback loop. So your consonant is feeding back to your vocal folds, and it's helping with your diaphragmatic support as well. Now, let's look at this in some singing. Okay, so let's start with that one there, that sort of harder consonants, and help you with alliteration. So first of all, let's do a little bit of alliteration. I always have my students read some poetry, and today I've picked one by Maya Angelou called "The Caged Bird." So the free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn. And I love just getting your mouth around those words, and especially maybe just highlighting a few consonants. It can really bring your voice to life. Now I'm going to leave that there for you on the screen. I want you to read through and play around with it a little bit. Which word are you going to highlight? Which consonant are you going to dig into to help give yourself that alliteration? So just do that now. Now, let's look at it in a song. So this use of hard consonants. I love Big Yellow Taxi for this alliteration that Joni Mitchell wrote. She's written it right into the song, and songwriters do this. Every song has alliteration. That's part of songwriting. So what I want you to do after this session is go through the songs you sing, see how you're picking up on the alliteration, because it brings your voice to life. Okay, so brings your lyrics to life. People respond. It's so expressive and rhythmical. So they pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Okay, oh, that's the verse. Let's go. So the chorus one is, they pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Hold on, that's not the right key. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. That sounds awfully high. Hold on a sec. Let me just transpose. Oh yeah, I've got it transposed like 8 up from the original. That's why. All right, hold on here. Okay. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Again, they pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Okay, let's go up one. That's awfully low for the girls. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Hold on. So it's, okay. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. That's it. Yeah, so it's 1, 2, and 5. Right, got it. Okay, next one up. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Hold on. They pave paradise, put up a parking. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. That's the one. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Let's go up one. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. There we are. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. They pave paradise, put up a parking. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Keep going. Go here. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. They pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Okay, so all those lovely P's and how different it is as you're going up. Now I find that because we're singing contemporary style, those P's really help. They give my voice that natural condensed quality that I need, because if it were all vowels, it would be too big for me to sing it in a contemporary way, where I've got my spoken voice running through that too. If we were singing classical and we were singing in more of that lofted resonance style, it would be more heady and the consonants would get in my way. So, I mean, even if you're singing legit style, which is that musical theater style, I could have danced all night, where it's very classical, it's still, you still have consonants in there because you have that real like pronunciation. So with that old-fashioned style, you typically want to pronounce everything, whereas here we're actually using slang, and slang is good to use. Excuse me, I often have my students will do like a rap or something, and It's not about making everything perfect, because that would sound like Julie Andrews. It's about getting those rhythmical drivers that you can feel in the consonants. Okay, let's use the W one to feel how that works in a song. So, you know the Beatles, so we're going to say. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. 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 So really feel the whisper words, not just about the alliteration. It's about digging into that, allowing your voice to just sit in that sweet spot. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Never claimed to be a piano player. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let's go one more. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Okay, yeah, I just love the W and picking up on that whisper word. So when you're singing your song, you can just kind of highlight, you can linger on the consonant a little bit longer. Now, I want to make reference to that. There is a habit that some people get into, which is holding on the consonant. Now, what we're doing is we're kind of digging into certain consonants to give us rhythmical interest and to help our voice dial into that right spot that feeds back in the system, like we're talking about. But there is a habit that people can get into about holding on the consonant. Now, it can be said that vowels are the music, right? So we want to really, if you've got one of those big meaty notes that you need to hold, you're robbing your audience if you hold it on the consonant. You must hold it on the vowel. And this brings me to a troublesome consonant, right? So that the L. So L can be really hard, and the reason why is because the tongue gets in the way, right? So the tongue is just like this big fat muscle that just needs to, it just flops around in the mouth. And if the tongue gets too active, then weird things start to happen. So I think we did this in a previous class, but I love that. When I fall in love, because you get that L right in your way there. So, and also I want you to really hold on the aw. So we want to lengthen that vowel. So it's when I fall in love. So you want the tongue to be quite relaxed. When I fall in love. So how gently can you do that L? How can you skip over it? When I fall in love. When I fall in love. on the vowel. When I fall in love. I'm really focusing on the vowel there, letting the L just very light. When I fall in love. Okay, let's look at some other troublesome consonants while we're here, because you come across these in singing. Obviously your singing is constantly changing. So we've talked about L, we've talked about G, how G is a great one for getting that press into your voice, but be careful because in singing it's a bit, it can be a bit choky. So g, 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 g. You can just soften that G. I want you to try that now. G, 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 g. Now R's, American R's. So if you're Canadian or American, R, that is hard. That really closes down the voice. The voice doesn't like any big movement. So we want to shape the R more towards a British R, which is a softened ah, right? And if you notice there's an international language of singing, you kind of can't really tell an accent when someone is singing, especially up high. And that's because really, if the singer is skilled, they're weaving in and out, they're shaping the voice, ice skating from sound to sound, and picking up on the alliteration. All of this is where singing can be a beautiful art. Okay, S. S can be a tricky one because look, S is not a voiced consonant. Your voice isn't in there. It's completely unvoiced. So this can pose a problem sometimes because, again, it's that signal flow interruption, isn't it? So my tip for coming across any S's is to go as quick as you can into the vowel. So let's say if we go up into, let's say that we'll start with the guy's bridge. So really get to that O as fast as you can. And you kind of get your mouth coming around there, which is quite nice when you go for the vowel. Let's go up to the girl's bridge. Let's try that again. Now, can we try one that is held on the S? See how that really blocks the signal flow, doesn't it? Now, let's bring it in towards the vowel more. Much better. Okay, now to finish off this session, something really, really fun. This is from Pirates of Penzance, and it's an illiterate song. Just a little clip. I wish we could do the whole thing, but you can look it up in your own time if you like, just to keep this under a big long session, just to give you a little experience. Okay, so we're going to start. Let's go slower. I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. Okay, we're just gonna do those bars right now. So, I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. Okay, you see what I've done there? I've breathed in the wrong place. So you see it goes modern major general, comma, I've information, vegetable, comma, animal, and mineral. So every time you see a little comma, that's the songwriter's natural place to take a little breath. And this can be tricky because, again, that's a signal interruption, isn't it? So, I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. I'm information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. I'm information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. As we're going faster, you can do it all in one. Now, I'm gonna, if you want to, girls, we can jump up there. Guys, this is in your chest voice. But girls, we could jump up if you want to try it up high. I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. Need a little bit of a break there. Okay, now that we've learned it, let's look at digging into those consonants. So again, it's not about making everything perfect, although this is a legit song, isn't it? It's about getting that. Let's look at the rhythm of it. I am the very model of a modern major general of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. Can you hear that triplet thing happening again? I am the very model of a modern major general of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. I am information, right. I think that's me done. But this type of work can help you be such a better singer. Just gives you that expressive quality. I often liken singing to drumming. So when people first learn drumming, they're like my kids are like, ugh, and they're banging on the drums really, really hard. But actually, if you look at a really skilled drummer, they're like, they're really loose, but really sharp. So this is where this work can come in handy. Also, consonants are fantastic for giving your voice that great feedback to the source. So you can really use them to your advantage to get that sense of press and dialing in your voice. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this session. Thanks for following me. It's been really fun. See you again soon.